I love fishing.
But man is not made for defeat.
The quiet.
A man can be destroyed.
The gentle rocking of the boat.
But not defeated.
The quiet, Scott. The quiet.
I heard. Stop yelling then. As for me, I am tormented with an everlasting itch for things remote. I love to sail forbidden seas and land on barbarous coasts.
It's of ships and sea from Unearthed Arcana this week on the Dungeon Master's Dojo.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Dungeon Master's Dojo podcast. This is a show for game masters and players alike. We hope to bring you tips and tricks to elevate your game and develop the art of dungeon mastery. I'm your host, Louis Aponte, and these are your dungeon masters, Scott Labby and Bill Robotile. Let's enter the dojo and see what they have in store for us today. Land ho!
Avast.
Now, this entire thing's kind of foreign to me.
That was the old man in the sea and Moby Dick?
Of ships. I never had one last long enough to worry about stats.
That was sarcasm.
Yeah, they are made to float, Bill. They are made to float.
Oh, I just used them to gather the party and then throw them immediately into turmoil.
Boats and Bill's campaign are like the fat cop in any horror movie involving an axe murderer.
The
That
first
sucker's
to go.
going down. And it's going down quick.
No!
This is fun, though. I might actually let one float for a while because I do like this. Lou has a look at his face like, yeah, sure.
Before we get to sinking your yet another boat.
Let's do some call-outs.
Yeah. The state of Illinois.
It's pronounced Illinois.
I was close. Their listenership has jumped up a little bit, so thank you guys. Keep telling your friends.
Yeah, this month
Yes.
they rock. They're like just a couple listens below Massachusetts, our home state.
Our home state.
So way to go, Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois.
What's this French thing all of a sudden?
It does sound nice when he
It
says
It
it.
does.
Like
It
that.
sounds good.
Yeah,
but
like
you're just gonna piss everybody off in Illinois.
It sounds lovely. Like this weekend, I went to Target.
Have your hair done at the Butte salon.
The Butte, yes. Just my usual style.
Oh, forehead waxing.
Yes. Buff it up. In the event I'm lost at sea, I could use my forehead
as a mirror,
as a mirror.
signaling mirror.
He's also more aerodynamic.
Oh yes,
I'll cut right through that water like nobody's business.
your forehead. You're from the shoulders down. You may have a bit of an issue.
Yeah. Have the aerodynamics of a brick from the shoulders down.
Sharks will be eaten well.
I am a high fat food. I'm not heart healthy. I'll get those sharks in the end.
And you are not gluten free either.
Eating one of me would be like eating 30 years worth of Twinkies. That sucker's dying from a heart attack. I'll have the last laugh.
It'll be like Jaws blowing up at the end.
Boom! Why do I smell Big Macs?
Yeah, they never go bad. And we're also, in case anybody's wondering, we are doing a giveaway still with a ton of stuff. Lou, what are we giving away? Tell them.
I know we're giving a couple of OSRs. The Rad Hack.
Yep.
Can't remember the other one.
Brass and Steel.
Brass and Steel, yep.
Brass and Steel, great game. Loved it.
The Curse of Strahd box set.
Curse of Strahd box set,
Whole
shaped
box set.
like a coffin.
Awesome.
Yep.
The Essentials kit.
The Essentials kit. The white box OSR
Yep.
rules for it's a D&D clone. OD&D, I think
Yes.
that's what it is a clone of. There's
Don't forget the out of box.
out of box encounters from Nerdarchy.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
That is a swell book.
It is very nice.
Yep. And there is also,
The Essentials.
we mentioned the Essentials.
Starter.
The starter kit. Yep.
Starter kit
set.
and the Young Adventurers set
Oh,
is
that's
there
right,
too.
yeah.
So if you want to introduce some young people to the game, and I wish you would, that's how we
Yep.
keep the hobby alive, right? Young Adventurers books are a great way to start that. But really, and not to mention, 4 dice trays?
And enough dice to over there to like choke a Balrog.
Yeah, and that's a lot of dice.
There's like
They
12
ever try
sets.
to
There's like
choke a
12.
Balrog?
There's 12 sets of dice over there.
They have a big throat.
Yes, they do.
You need at least 12 sets of dice. So you have everything, right? You have everything. If you just head over to the DungeonMastersDojo.com and follow the links, right? Leave us a review.
They are all
on
there.
Apple or Podchaser.
And then leave us your, write us a comment on
Yeah,
our
write us a
webpage.
comment. We love to hear about it. Even if you're like, hey, guys.
I just want to win.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple of those, and I get it. It's a nice giveaway.
Now, be warned, we have cold called a couple people.
We'll call you at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just randomly go, let's do this.
Yep.
So far, we haven't been hung up on or had any kind of like injunctions against us. So
right.
that's cool.
No police action. So that's been pretty good.
But you can also now, since we moved over to Podbean, if you're using the Podbean
That's
app.
right. Podbean is our new home.
Yep, you can
We're
actually
loving it.
leave us a comment if you're using the app on your either Android or Apple phone.
Oh, geez, how convenient is that, Lou?
You can't get any easier.
Our tech guy is on top of this. He is awesome.
Convenient. You have everything you need if you win this.
Everything.
Everything to start running games the day you get this massive treasure trove, I dare say, of role-playing material.
You can hook
have
up your
everything.
entire party.
And you know what? If you work for a school and if you are starting a tabletop RPG gaming club, I'm sure we got some teachers out there or other faculty from schools. This is a great way to jumpstart the material you need for the club. Does not cost you anything to send an email and leave a comment.
So just do it.
Yeah, do it. Why not? The great state of Illinois.
Say it again. I like when you say
Illinois.
it. There you go.
Tell your gaming
I'm forwarding
groups.
all the hate mail to him.
Nobody's going to send me hate mail. I'm lovable.
He's a big teddy bear.
He's cuddly, yes.
Tell your friends. Tell your gaming group. If you have a gaming group and you guys just started, what better way to elevate your odds than to have all 7 of you leave a comment? Of course, listen to the podcast too, because
We're here to help.
we're here to help. We are players too. We're here to help. Leave a comment. Send us an email.
See, and your comment can also be anything you want us to do on a subject.
And that's a great point too.
Let us know
Please.
what you want to
Yeah,
hear.
we'll be happy to do it.
I got tons of ideas, but I'm old and I keep forgetting them.
Yeah,
So
so remind us.
things in writing are awesome.
I forget to write them down.
Yeah, I just forget.
Scott hid my slate in charcoal.
It's
He was using a charcoal for a charcoal bath.
it exfoliates.
That's it.
He was pumicing his feet.
It draws out the toxins in his system.
That's so they're silky smooth.
I'll
so
take
I
your word
can
for it.
walk
I am
that
not going
rice
anywhere.
paper
I'm,
path.
I'm going nowhere near your feet. All right, so let's move on.
We're talking about ships and the sea. I'm thinking Master and Commander, Far Side of the World with Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany and a bunch of other people whose names I forgot. Who doesn't love a good sea-based campaign?
You're at Bill's table? One of
No,
them.
no. Anywhere else but there. Your shit's sinking if you're at Bill's table.
You'll live if you're not wearing your armor.
Not always. There's predatory fish in those waters.
And they're too busy chewing on the people that didn't make it.
They're clacking.
They gave you like ship stat line. This is out of 2018 too, so I haven't really seen anything new for it. But this goes along nicely with that Into the Wild UA.
Yep.
I think it's pretty neat. I think even someone who's been DMing for a while could really get a lot from this.
They actually did a really good job of going over like the components of the ship, movement and the weapons,
Yep.
armor class. Lou and I were reading this before we started recording. We started chuckling because it gives the ability scores for the ship. And the ship has 6 ability scores: strength, dexterity, constitution, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. And we started chuckling going, why does the ship have an intelligence or a wisdom? But they're set at 0.
Why would it even require a...
They're going to give you all 6 stats because they're not going to change the template they're using for all their stat blocks.
But why does your ship need strength?
Your strength, it represents its size and its weight. The dexterity represents the ship's ease of handling. And the constitution covers durability and quality of its construction.
I don't like it.
Neither do I. Thank you.
I don't like it one bit.
Just hit points will do.
Yes, something like hull points, maneuverability, strength.
Then you're not taking pride in your ship.
You know what?
As a good captain, you would take pride in your ship.
I
You would go out there and go, you know something? My ship is more maneuverable than that piece of crap over there that looks very similar, but mine is better. Because I put extra work into it, i.e. my dex is higher.
So while I
Rubbish.
don't like it,
I see.
I hate to say it, I do like with Bill, how he explained it, and it kind of made sense. I just don't like it.
I don't like it.
I love it.
And I don't care that Bill. Okay, Bill, psionics rule. How do you like that?
I'm sorry, but ships have intelligence of 0. Ships have no psionics. Sorry.
So that means they could be damaged by them.
Of course they can. They,
No.
But unless it falls under the ship's immunities, because they list all its immunities as well. So,
Jesus Christ.
oh no. One's crafted from metal and stone are typical immune to necrotic damage. They're also usually immune to being blinded, charmed, deafened, exhaustion, frightened, incapacitated, paralysis, petrification, poison, prone, stunned, or unconsciousness.
You know what this is for?
The idiots.
People that lack common sense.
Idiots.
Do you really need to put that in there?
Idiots.
Common sense gone.
It's
Welcome to the imagination of 5th edition.
yeah, that's unnecessary.
Yeah, it should
really
be
is.
pretty
It is
obvious that
unnecessary.
you can't blind your boat.
Right.
But for the same reason they put on your hot coffee that you ordered hot at McDonald's, it says contents may be hot.
Yeah, don't pour on yourself.
Yeah, I guess they're covering all their bases.
I guess, yeah, it's the same reason that. Let me ask you a question, Mr. I love the 6 stats of my boat.
Yeah.
If I wanted to improve the strength of my keel boat, and I got it a Planet Fitness membership, if you guys want to sponsor, feel free to call us. Planet Fitness membership, and we just, maybe worked out a little bit, I could elevate my strength score from a 16 to maybe a 17. Why is it got a 16 strength? Like, my halfling warrior is stronger than the boat.
To start with, you're talking about an inanimate object versus an animate object. And as I stated earlier, your strength represents its size, which is probably not going to change, or its weight. Now, its weight might change in its strength by adding armor to it.
I just
Like
don't
I said, while I do like the hit point thing, Bill makes perfect sense when he broke it down.
It's the method in which they do it is poor. Like, okay, damage immunities, so you can't poison the keel boat.
You should already know that.
Yes. And come on.
I think, and I hate to say this, but this makes people feel dumb sometimes.
It does. I gotta say, it assumes that people are dumb.
Thank you.
I think that's inaccurate. I think it's, but perhaps I'm picking at nits.
Me too.
But that part I don't. I like all the coolness of airships and warships, and
The stat blocks are actually set up, and they have a really good variety of stat blocks here for different ships.
they do. I would do something.
They go
just
from
don't like it.
the airship, a galley, a keel boat. They go to a longboat, a sailing ship. And you even have your warship. So they're covering quite a few of the basic classes of ship. And with all the stat block and the different armor class and hit points, as well as its actions and its offensive capabilities as well.
So now that I'm done hating on the ship part, let's talk about officers.
It does a nice job of going through all the different stages.
Yeah, I think it does. Yep.
It covers pretty much, not all of them, but the majority of the important ones. You have your captain, your first mate, your bosun, quartermaster, surgeon, and cook. That's kind of, whether you go on a sailing ship or a modern-day nuclear submarine, you're going to find all those same people.
I like that they give you descriptions for them all. Because
Yeah,
a lot of
and
people,
they do.
Some of them, like I think probably up until I forget how long ago, I didn't know what a bosun was or a boatswain.
Bosun.
Chief Engineer Montgomery Scott.
You had to bring it up, didn't you?
Well,
We're talking about his ships. The first ship he puts out there is going to be named the Enterprise, right?
That's right. You got to have your Kirk, your Spock, your Bones.
1701K.
No, the first one, NCC 1701. No bloody A, B, C, or D. Constitution class.
Well, I thought you were going to go with K for Kraken, but, that's right. Now he's thinking. They even have shore leave. That's nice. Travel at sea, travel paces, the movements, which is pretty consistent. Go into drawing maps. You're on the water.
All you need is one blue crayon.
And a green one to put a little circle when you find the island. Raising morale. Raise morale for the first mate only. Navigate for the quartermaster only. Repairs for the bosun only. So that's nice that they give your stealth for the captain only. They give you your activities to do for the different officers on the boat.
Which makes for some kind of a specialization if those officers happen to also be player characters, so everybody's
Yes.
got their part in whatever is going on, be it combat or just a day-to-day operation.
Yeah, you're not sitting there twiddling your thumbs.
Well,
Right.
from my point of view, is if they're not player characters, if one of these people becomes incapacitated in one manner, shape, or form, who's going to do their job? And if no one can, then that particular job's not getting done. And if there's repairs that need to be done on the boat and your bosun is incapacitated, you better have some big-ass funky magic coming your way because a bill's going to happen.
It's
sinking.
I got PTSD from all that. It's very easy to have a dreadfully boring ship-based campaign.
It can be, yes.
It can be very, very boring.
Well, it's compartmentalized. There's not a lot of room to move.
How do you make an intro? I think more importantly than all these stats and stuff and how strong your ship is, how do you make for an entertaining campaign? Can you make a campaign solely around like a boat? I think you could.
Absolutely. A couple of things quickly come to mind. Make it a haunted boat.
Yep. Make it a haunted boat. Make it an exploration vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Any number of things. You know, you could take a Jules Verne approach to your aquatic adventures, Pirates of the Caribbean type of thing.
Yep.
It could be very entertaining as long as you plan out your adventures accordingly. I think it could get really stale if, okay, here comes the Kraken again. Or
Not only that, I think this gives you opportunity to have some fun with some player character classes, like the Fathomless,
yes, yep.
a Druid, to name a few. But those classes can actually benefit from being around that water because they can use more skills and abilities.
Yeah, and non-traditional races too.
Yeah.
You know,
Tritons.
Yep.
Well, throw a grung on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do a lot.
Oh, he would
of fun
love
stuff with
this.
that. Yep.
Oh, what are you doing? He just jumped overboard. Yeah, he said he was going to go foraging. It's lobsters tonight, guys.
That's
I
if
think-
he doesn't become a snack, too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true, too.
yeah.
But
Yeah, you could use him as bait to catch a
shit.
larger fish.
now you're taking a page out of my book.
So this gives you kind of like the vanilla version, just kind of the technicalities of travel at sea and boats and how to staff a ship. It also has a lot of things on it where you wouldn't normally necessarily have to be concerned with food, right? Where does the food come from? You would think that basically you're floating through a giant refrigerator, but not necessarily, right? If you don't know how to get the food. Or what about mutinies and
Even less than that, being seasick.
yeah,
That can incapacitate somebody very easily.
Yep.
And for long term, there's a crap load of hazards. Not necessarily just the weather, floating debris, even if it is an iceberg. But it could. What if you run into an area that's you're on the shipping path and the storm that you missed hit another ship, and now there's a capsized ship that you may not see in the rain or the mist or the fog. So all of a sudden you're crashing into an overturned
I was
boat.
just going to say, because you have no radar.
Right, with survivors on it, and next thing you know, it's like you got people you hear screaming off in the fog. Okay, drop the sails, hard to port. We need to avoid an obstacle that only just came into view, so you don't sink your boat, because apparently that's what you're supposed to do.
But not only that, now you bring up these people. Are they good? Are they bad?
Yeah.
Exactly,
It adds
So
more to the story.
There's another encounter. There's more people. There's all of a sudden
All
you've
your
changed,
rations are gone.
You change the dynamic on the boat. Now there's less water. There's less food. There's the turmoil of that boat versus this boat. What happened? Was it a battle? Was it a storm? Was it something in the water that did this? Was it the incompetence of their particular captain and whatnot? And they're the ones that survived. Now they're half their officers are the ones that are coming on your boat, and they're like, here's a nice, fresh, shiny new boat.
Yeah, are they hostile?
Right. Do they want to take over? And we've already mentioned mutiny. So there's a whole, you can go like, daytime soap opera on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Unearthed Arcana is, again, I said it in the Wilderness one, this would be good for a nice starting off GM. So it's a basic understanding of everything. And we'll also have the links in the description, so go read those. This is a good place to start.
It is a nice place to start. It gives you a good foundation.
I'm reading it to the last page, and it even goes over crashing your boat, owning a ship, the downtime, how to manage your ship, complications that could come up. So they did a very, very thorough job from port to port of everything you're going to need, and while you're in port, of everything you're going to need to have an adventure on the boat, run the boat. Maybe your party has bought the boat, and like you said, you are the crew. You're going to need to know all this stuff. And as you take on cargo and passengers, and maybe that's your adventure, is this is your boat. You bought it, you own it, you are the crew, and every time you pick someone or something up, it's a new adventure.
And that's no different than a land-based adventure if you really think
It's
about it.
not.
It
It's
just
not.
it brings the fourth dimension into it because now you got above the sides of you, now you got below you as well.
Yes.
And that can be tricky to run a game like that, where terrestrial game, it's pretty linear. Now you move underwater, you have, all around you and above you and sometimes below you too.
And in a completely different environment. Everyone has lots of water breathing spells.
Or you better hope Bill's not running this ship for his campaign.
Well, I like this, so I may not sink this one right away.
Right away.
Yeah, the key word right away. So
Wait
it's
till everybody's asleep.
It has combat and crashing right here on the rules. I mean, how can I not, ignore that?
Better make sure that ship of yours has a high constitution.
Oh, now it's okay to have a high stat, huh? I won you over a whole lot faster than you'll ever win me over on Psionics.
Thank you for listening, Illinois.
That Jean-Claude Van Damme over there.
And that's our look of ships and seas from the Unearthed Arcana. We'll see you next time in the dojo. That's going to conclude this episode. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Please subscribe to the podcast for more great content. If you'd like to hear a particular topic, you can reach us on Facebook at the Dungeon Masters Dojo, or you can drop us an email at thedungeonmastersdojo@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a good day.